Science is fun. Well, very often it's not interesting. Very often it's not fun. Very often you can't really say that everybody can do science because it's super demanding. We don't welcome people. You're a mathematician too. We'll say that to kids, and then the kid will say something, and then we'll say, be quiet.
Yeah.
And so this is not peculiar to Neil. It's like science in general has portrayed itself as a place where everyone's welcome. We debate out the ideas. We have the scientific method to tell us what's true and what isn't. And that's disingenuous. It's not really how the game works. And this is going to involve peer review. It's going to involve people who are dual in terms of both doing research and being public figures. People who are public figures who we think of as researchers who aren't really doing much research. People who are, pushing crazy agendas in public without a recognition that their colleagues don't think much of what they're doing. I mean, this is a very complicated story that Terrence has walked into. And I have to think about my colleagues, and I have to think about how they hear things, what they will say. And so I am in part speaking to your audience, but I'm also partially speaking to 1,000 people who are seeing this at a different level.
But just for the record, like
Sure.
I said, I grew up watching Neil and having someone that was light-skinned, that looked like me, up there making these grand steps towards helping people to understand. I admire him, and I still would like the opportunity to sit down and show him these things and have that beer, because I think that he will be pleased once he sees the supersymmetry associated with it and understand where all of the passion came from. And I hope that other scientists will take a look at it, but that's the whole point of us doing this.
I don't know how serious he is about that beer.
No.
Right, because I saw him say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, that was a very complicated thing that he did. And it had many layers as to whether or not you took it on the surface, you took the hidden meaning, and you took the meaning below that. And so plunging right into that from the beginning, in my opinion, is not served very well by having the three of us here. Because the first thing is, what is the nature of Terrence's ideas? I don't think Neil actually understood some of your ideas, to be entirely honest.
No, and what he forgot is when I say 1 × 1 = 2, that's a metaphor for challenging the status quo. Despite the fact that the square root of 2 has all of its issues when you cube it or you multiply it by 2, which creates a contradiction, despite the fact that the square root of 2 has a problem with the prime numbers, the fact that they call number 2 a prime number, when it's clearly a composite number.